Hi, third grade. Mr. Rakestraw here with another math lesson. Today we're working on lesson 5.5, but you need to get your small Go math book out and turn to page P99. So that's the letter P, 99. Pause the video if you need to. Alrighty, so starting here on question number 2, we have 60 times 3. And one way we can solve this is by covering up the 0, and we're left with 6 times 3. I'll write this out. 6 times 3 equals 18. But we still have the 0 left over from 60. So we need to take that 0 and move it to the end of 18, making it 180. That would be our answer for 60 times 3, 180. Let me move that 0. We can do this again for number 3, which is 60 times 5. Cover up the 0, so we're left with 6 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. And then we move that 0 from the 60 to the end of 300 to 30, and we get 300. For question 4, we'll do this one more time. Cover up the we have 30 times 8. We cover up the 0 for 30. We're left with 3 times 8. And 3 times 8 is 21. My apologies, 24. Then we take that 0 from 30, move it to the end, and we have 240. Now, on number 5 here, we were talking about on, if I remember correctly, Tuesday, distributive property. I want to go over distributive property with you real quick. So, we have 50 times 2. We can break this 50 up into 5 tens because 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 50. So we're left with 2 times parentheses 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. For distributive property to work, remember you need to distribute, meaning you give something to each one. In this case, we're giving 2 to each 10 in the sense that we're multiplying 2 by each 10, okay? So each 10 is being multiplied by 2. So then we're left with 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. 20 plus 20 is 40. We have another 20 plus 20 there. So we're left with 40 plus 40 plus 20. 40 plus 40 is 80. And then we're left with 80 plus 20. And 20 plus 80 is 100. So that is our answer for 50 times 2, 100. If you followed along on that. I won't use distributive property here on this one. I just want to quickly go over it for number 5. 6, 10 is too big, and I don't have enough room on this board. We'll continue with covering up the 0, so we're left with 6 times 7, and 6 times 7 is 42. So we have 42. We move the 0 to the end of it, and we're left with 420. With number 7, we'll do the same thing again. Cover up the 0 on the 70. Number 7 is 70 times 4. Cover up the 0 for 70. We're left with 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. And then we move the 0 down. And we have 280. On number 8 here, I wanted to talk on the thing that on this way of solving this that we talked about yesterday, the number line. So here we'll make a small little number line. I'm going to start with 90 here, go all the way over here. This is going to be real quick because we got to think about it like this. We're counting by 90s. So essentially what we're doing is just adding 90 each time to the number that we get. So 90 plus 90 is 180. Then we add 90 to 180 and get, I have to do some quick math in my head right now. 270. Skip count again, and that will bring us to 360. We're doing this for 6 times because we're multiplying 90 by 6. So we'll do it again. 450. 540. So let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 90 is 540. And I can double check this by doing the same way that we've been doing. So if I took this 6 times 90, covered that up, so I'm left with 6 times 9, I can do the finger trick. See, that's 50. 6 times 9 is 54. Then I move that 9 down, and that checks out with 540. Wanted to quickly show you the number line one again, but we'll continue with the covering up the zero method. So on the next one, number 9, 9 times 70, cover up the 0, left with 9 times 7, do my finger trick. We see that it is 63, 9 times 7 is 63, move the 0 down, we're left with 630 for our answer. Number 10, 8 times 9, 8 times 90, cover up the 0, 8 times 9, do our little finger trick here, 72, bring down the 0, 720. And finally, with number 11, we have 6 times 80. Cover up that 0, 6 times 8, and that equals, pardon my math real quick, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and 48. If I'm doing that correctly in my head. Yep. Bring the 0 down, and we're left with 480. Alrighty, real quick, I want to go off over these story problems real quick, since story problems tend to be a bit trickier. So number 12, each model car in a set costs $4. There are 30 different model cars in the set. How much would it cost to buy all the model cars in a set? So we need to find out how, if you bought one set of model cars, how much would that be? Well, we know that each model car in a set costs $4. So one car equals $4. I'm just going, one car equals $4. And there are 30 different model cars in the set. So 30 different models. I'm writing this out so I keep track of it. So, since there are 30 different cars and each one costs $4, it would make the most sense to times 4 by 30. That's the information that I got from reading this, and that's what I'm taking from it. Now we'll just solve this. We'll cover up the 0, so we're left with 4 times 3, which equals 12. But don't forget, we got to move that 0 to the end of 12. So we move that 0 over, and we have 120. And don't forget to label your work. So we know that the car costs $4, so we need to put a dollar sign in front of our 120. We're left with $120. To buy a whole set of 30 different model cars, it would be $120. That's a lot. Moving over to number 13, Amanda exercises for 50 minutes each day. How many minutes will she exercise for 7 days? So in one day, she exercises 50 minutes in one day. But we need to figure out how much she exercises in 7 days. So we can take that 50 and times it by 7, since there's 7 days. Doing the same method here, covering up the 0, we're left with 7 times 5. 7 times 5 equals 35, but then we need to move the 0 over to the end, and we get 350. And we don't forget to label our work. So we have 350 minutes that Amanda exercises over 7 days. That's a lot of exercising. Alrighty then, class, or third graders. At this moment in time, you can close your book and open up your Chromebook and get to work on the exit ticket for 5.5. I hope this helped you understand multiplying a bit better and some different ways that you can to figure out multiples of 10s. Alrighty, bye!